Well, shake your tits and jiggle your dicks, kids. It's Friday. Welcome back to another action-packed episode of the Friday Wrap-Up. Well, before we get today's show kicked off, I want to tip my hat to today's libation. What better way to wet my whistle on a Friday than with a little whiskey? Not just any whiskey, but no. That sweet elixir from that magical place, Lynchburg, Tennessee. That's right, I'm talking about the one, the only Jack Daniels. So a salud to drink up and be somebody. Man, there's very few things in this world that I love more than Jack Daniels. I'm not ashamed to say that. Okay, so we got a big week. Big week. Bob Saget's cause of death was revealed. Apparently he sustained some blunt force trauma to the head. So what happened was he died of a brain bleed. That's old news. But the injuries and the autopsy report was released this week, as I was saying, and the family's suing to keep it under wraps. I'm going to tell you why in a minute, or at least why I think. So what happened was they said he sustained a head injury and then went to sleep. He felt fine, I guess. He went to sleep. I don't know. Nobody was fucking there to ask him. He went to sleep and he died of a brain bleed in his sleep. Now, they say the injury that he sustained to the head caused a minor fracture, which would be equivalent to you cracking somebody over the head with a baseball bat. Now, maybe he slipped and fell in the fucking shower and smashed his head on a marble floor. That could do it, okay? But I think, because the reason that, if that was the case, I don't think the family would be suing to have the autopsy results sealed, okay? Or suing people for releasing them. I get it, it's a private matter, but being that he's a public figure, people want to know. Not that it's any of their fucking business, to be quite honest, but, these are the things that happen. Anyhow, so here's why I think, if he fell in the bathroom, unless they're suing the hotel, I don't see why this is a big deal. But here's what I think happened. Because he was a little bit of a perv. You know what I mean? Not with people, just his comedy. The guy was, he probably had some perversions. I think he was probably like Keith Carradine, like choking himself out and jerking off at the same time, and maybe fell and cracked his head that way, then got up and went to bed. Because they said there's no signs of forced entry in the room, no signs of any kind of foul play, struggle, nothing like that. So there you go. Canada apparently is on the brink of civil fucking war. So, I'm sure you've watched all this shit on the news with the truckers, which, okay, so let me give you the long and short of this, all right? So the truckers were protesting because the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, made it a fucking law that they couldn't do their job unless they were vaccinated. Okay, he's mandating a vaccine. And they said no. Now, truckers are the lifeblood of any country. America, Canada, whatever. Nothing that you buy in a store gets delivered. It doesn't come off a truck first. Okay? So, Biden at least had the fucking hindsight to not mandate truckers in the United States. Because, we got something Canada doesn't have. The fucking Teamsters. So, and they conduct business a little differently than, the Canadians. But anyhow, so the Canadian truckers were protesting, and they parked their trucks in front of Parliament, and it was a peaceful thing for days. They had bouncy houses for the kids. It wasn't like a BLM fucking riot, okay? There was no violence whatsoever. Of course, the news, the liberal news will say, oh, these truckers, they're violent, because they're mutts, the liberal media, which I'm going to get to them in a few minutes, too. So anyhow, long story short, these truckers were almost like a sit-in, like during the 60s. It was a peaceful protest, right? So they were getting crowdfunded, okay, by people that, believe in what they're doing. And, they're crowdfunding them to buy more diesel fuel for their trucks and shit like that. Anyhow, so Trudeau is not willing to negotiate with them, not willing to listen to them. So instead what he does is he imposes sanctions. So he created like a state of emergency where he could freeze their bank accounts, have their insurance dropped, and anybody who even crowdfunded, you will be found, you'll be exposed, Your bank accounts will be frozen, your businesses will be ruined, and they're gonna kill your pets! I swear to God, this is what they said. They're gonna take your pets and kill them in public. What the fuck kind of shit is this? Okay? That's not even Crazy Train material. Who even fucking thinks of that? Leave the fucking pets alone. What the fuck did they do to you? Okay? Shit. I mean, listen, I'm not a cat guy, okay? But, I mean, I still wouldn't want someone's cat to get killed. I mean, you know how many fucking Chinese restaurants that cat could feed? Seriously. You know how many orders you can get of sesame chicken out of that damn thing? Don't kill the cats. Anyway, it's fucking nuts. Rockville Center was closed the other day because a fucking oil tanker with 2,200 gallons of gasoline crashed into the fucking Lazy Boy store. Okay, whole thing went up. They had to close the entire town. Okay, I mean, could you, those fucking 20,000 gallons of fucking, it was 22,000 gallons, not 2,200. 22,000 gallons of gasoline. Okay, that was probably going to some gas stations on the island. Now gas is gonna end up going up even fucking higher. Great. Okay, I mean. The Lazy Boy store didn't make it because everything in there is fucking flammable. Could you imagine if you were waiting on a Lazy Boy order? Like, you go in there, you buy all new living room furniture, and then you come home and you throw away your couch and everything, and then all of a sudden they call you the next day. Hey, listen, well, we can't deliver your chairs and your sofa. Why? Well, there was a fire. Everything's gone. So now I gotta sit on the floor? Listen, I've been in the Lazy Boy store before. Burnt up, of course, and I've sat on these couches and chairs. I decided right then and there I could never own one, because if I did, I'd never be awake. I started fucking dozing off in the middle of the store. I'm like, oh, this is nice. No. So, oh God, it's just been crazy. So gas is gonna go up. You can't fucking find Lazy Boys on Long Island now. TLC, the Mutant Channel, has a new fucking show, okay? It's called Stuck. Yeah, I watched like 10 minutes of it. I couldn't watch no more. It just, like, the show is about people who get things stuck in them. So, like, there was just one guy in the beginning of the show, some dirty fucking old man, had a bug stuck in his ear. And then, like, I watched that, and then this woman in Alabama got a fucking dildo stuck in her ass. So she buys this. She goes, where do they find these people? She goes out and she's explaining how she was, like, you know, addicted to masturbation. Like, come on, like, everybody does it, all right? And she buys a fucking 8-inch. It's called the butt stick. It's an 8-inch fucking, like, dildo, and it has like bulbs, you know. Like, I mean, this thing. I mean, you could. This thing could be a murder weapon, and then it has like a ring at the end of it, like a pacifier handle, I guess, for like jamming it in there. So she got all excited. She says, "Oh, I'm gonna go take a bath," and gets in the fucking tub, lubes this thing up, and she's like, you know, I have 3 areas and only 2 hands, so I just figured it wasn't going to go anywhere. And she's like, who knew my butt was a vacuum? So apparently she lit this thing up, shoved it in her ass, let go of the handle, and went, whoop! I mean, that thing just fucking shot up her ass like a rocket. Now, mind you, the circumference of this thing, handle and all, okay, was about like that big. A butt should only be like this big, unless, you know, it's got a lot of action and it gets stretched out, you know. This girl's probably dropping turds all over the fucking place. So the thing shoots up her ass and it gets stuck in her fucking lower back, and she's like, I can feel it vibrating in my back. So she has to. Now this is all like in the morning or the afternoon or whatever. So now she had to go to the fucking like emergency room. So the doctor. This is what cracked me up, because the doctor's this big black guy. He's like, and you know, and he's talking to the camera and he's trying to sound as white as he can. He's like, well, yeah, she got a vibrator stuck in her rectum, and you know, and he's going on to talk about like the muscles in the ass. He's like, you know, like the sphincter muscles, you know, they tighten up to, you know, when there's something in there to keep poop from falling on the floor. Like, he said the word poop. And I'm thinking to myself, this guy don't talk like that. He's probably going, yo, this crazy white bitch got a fucking dildo stuck in her ass, man. Holy shit. What in the hell these white bitches putting up in there? And he's like talking to her, and he's like, you know what he was thinking. you know what he was thinking. He's like, oh, so you got a record. He's like, so I was talking to the young lady, and I was actually asking her, what exactly is the issue? And she said, she had a vibrator stuck in her record. He was like, yo, girl, come on, holla at your boy, baby. You like shit. You like big things in your ass, huh? You want some big stick in that fluffy white ass of yours. What's that? Yeah, a white woman likes something big. I got something big for your ass, girl. Come on over here. Pops and got you. So then, the guy, and he's like a carrier, and you see this thing. Like he's like, you're seeing like into her ass, and he's like, oh, we gotta make sure it didn't do any damage. Like this fucking thing was like up there. Like, it had to be like right here. It had to be given a fucking agita. So like it was up there, so he gets it like these like arms and he yanks the whole, you see the shit and everything. It was just covered in fucking, it was gross. Okay, after that I was like, bleh, done. So she's like, you really should have insurance if you get one of these things, because that was who wants to pay $15,000? So she thought she was going to have a little fun with herself. It ended up costing her $15,000. It was a $15,000 afternoon. Watch the show. I'm telling you, it's fucking, the shit they put on this channel is insane. They really should change it to the what the fuck is that channel. It's like I said, TLC, I don't mind. I let you have it. Anyway, on another Biden blunder. Well, in Joe Biden's recent polling nightmare, 72% of Democrats, that's 7 out of 10 for you mathematicians, do not want Biden to run again in 2024. Well, no fucking shit. They want anyone else. Settle down, you Hillary fans, because I'm not done with your friend either, okay? She's got her comeuppance coming on a little later on. So my question is, okay, not who's going to run, but my question is, how the fuck is this even possible? Okay, when he allegedly won the election with 81 million votes, which historically is more votes than anyone has ever won the office of president with in the history of the country. So 81 million people allegedly voted for him. We're not sure what their status was, alive or dead, but he got 81 million votes. We'll say it that way, allegedly, okay? And now 7 out of 10 people just changed their mind. Interesting, okay? So, like I said, how is this possible? The explanation is simple. He cheated. I'm sorry. I got a little something stuck in my throat. I should probably have a sip, See what happened was he cheated. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Again, it must be, the YouTube waves coming out of the phone into my face, that's causing me to choke, so I'm going to move on. In other news, we may be going to war with Russia any day now. Good job, Joe. I said this last week, and I hate when I'm right sometimes, okay? So, I told you, he greenlit a fucking incursion into the Ukraine, and he walked it back and goes, if Russia invades the Ukraine, we're going to give them a good stern talking to. Good job, Grandpa, okay? He's like, and we're going to hit them with economic sanctions that's going to cripple their economy. You'd think, first of all, Putin does not respect Joe Biden. That's evident, okay? Telling the man that you're going to give him a stern talking to and you're going to hit him with economic sanctions is not going to faze him. First of all, you can't threaten a guy like that. You got to threaten him with force, okay? Not a scolding, okay? This guy, you think he gives a shit if Russia goes bankrupt? They used to be fucking poor. They live in the snow. They'll boil it and eat the fucking snow. They don't care, all right? So, and to cool the situation down, Good old Joe sends Kamala Harris to Europe to fucking talk to these people. What is this giggling, nervous fuck gonna do? The only thing that I could see happening is that her voice irritates Putin so much that he actually fucking kills himself. Okay? That's the only way. Otherwise, we're going to war. It's imminent. Okay? It reminds me of that movie, was it Crimson Tide? With Gene Hackman and Denzel Washington. One of my favorite movies, by the way. And the late James Gandolfini. Crew, this is the captain. We're going to war. It's imminent. That's it, man. We're done. That's it. Good job, Joe. Can't wait to see what he does next year. Hey. All right, kids, get your tickets out. We're about to hop onto that maniacal, magical express into mayhem and fuckery. Crazy train's about to leave the station. All aboard! Okay, first stop, Chappaqua, New York. Well, the Durham investigation. Now, you remember when Donald Trump was president and all the Democrats were screaming that he was colluding with Russia, and there was the Russia, the Steele dossier and all this other shit. They said they allegedly had information incriminating Donald Trump that he was colluding with the Russian government, most specifically Vladimir Putin. The Mueller, they had one investigation that was taxpayer funded, the Mueller investigation. That was $43 million, and they found no evidence of collusion. But because it was funded by the DNC, I believe, that's really all they found, but there were still some questions. So the GOP launches an investigation, or I think it's a private investigation. I'm not quite sure how it's funded, but another guy, John Durham, is looking into it and covered some information that proves that the Clinton campaign paid computer hackers to hack Donald Trump's servers, not only when he was a candidate, but also when he was the president, to plant information. This was all through her attorney. To plant information on his servers to paint a picture or create a narrative that he was colluding with Russia. So, in English, they hacked his computers to try and frame him and make him look like he was colluding with Russia, when in fact he wasn't. And Trump even said it. They spied on my campaign, and everyone said he was crazy. Not only did they spy on his campaign, but they were spying on him while he was the sitting fucking president. I'll say that again. Okay? They even hacked White House servers and spied on a sitting... This is worse than Watergate, okay? Spied on a sitting fucking president while he was in office. That whole Russian Steele dossier was all fake news, kids. Trump was actually vindicated because he was right. Because, he said it for months, and people thought, oh, no, that's not true, that's not proof. He goes, yeah, there is proof. Because nobody wants to fucking address it. And the media, all they talked about was how Trump was colluding with Russia, and he was Putin's puppet, and blah, 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 blah. And meanwhile, Putin respected Trump because he was afraid of him. Because he knew Trump was a little fucking knockwad in the head. Okay? So, this all came out this week. And, the other fucking news channels kind of just went like, they won Pulitzers over this shit, and they're like, They just brushed it away. Fox, thank God, aired all the fucking dirty laundry. So, not only was this fake news, okay, not only was this a frame job that didn't work, thank goodness, but sitting President Barack Obama knew about it. Key members that are in the current Biden administration not only knew about it, but also colluded on it. Okay? They were part of the fucking scheme. All right? And as a reward, Biden put them in key positions in his administration. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Okay? All right? The news refuses to walk their bullshit back. Now, this whole thing impeded the man's presidency. Okay? It really did. It was like a fucking monkey on his back. And, not for nothing. It even added to the first impeachment, which he beat. Okay? So, with all of this bullshit that was happening, that was impeding Trump's presidency, he was still the most fucking productive president that we've ever had since maybe Ronald Reagan, okay? Could you imagine if he was unimpeded, how much more the man could have accomplished? Seriously, okay? This is a crime against not only the president, but the American people, okay? Because they robbed us of proper government, okay? They impeded the man in doing his job. This is fucking treason, plain and simple. They spied and tried to frame a sitting president. And we're not supposed to believe that they weren't capable of stealing an election too? If you could do that, falsifying election results are not, you shouldn't believe that. You know what I mean? Okay? You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying here? All right? The things that they're capable of really are limitless at this point. Okay? I mean, it's fucking crazy. This cunt and her fucking collaborators that are all currently in key positions in the fucking current administration, including Barack Obama, should be tried for treason and put in front of a fucking firing squad. Okay? How about that, YouTube? All right, next stop, the Hamptons. Speaking of shooting people, Alec Baldwin is being sued by the family of the woman that he shot and killed during the filming of his movie Rust. Now, I believe I said this earlier back episodes, and if I didn't, I know I've said it to people. I just don't know if I said it on the show. But I said this was going to happen, even if they didn't bring criminal charges. I'm not surprised they haven't brought criminal charges yet, to be quite honest with you, because of a few things. One, he's in a highly Democratic county. Probably paid them a shit ton of money just to shoot the movie there. I think they're trying to let this go sweep it under the rug, but the family, of course, is not going to let it go. And Alec Baldwin is like shocked that they're suing him, because he met with the husband and the children and cried like a fruit and apologized profusely. And he swears, "I never pulled the trigger. I just let the hammer go." Well, if the fucking hammer and the firing pin are resting on a goddamn loaded chamber, okay? If you just flip the hammer, it's not going to hit the firing pin unless you engage the trigger and the hammer flies all the way back, and then boom, it's a single action revolver. You can't just fan the hammer unless you have this trigger squeezed. If you have the trigger squeezed and then you fan the hammer, it'll rotate the barrel and it'll keep hitting the loaded rounds, okay? So whether he flipped the hammer or he squeezed the trigger, I'm not buying any of that bullshit, okay? Fact of the matter is, he had a loaded gun in his hand. He never checked the fucking ammo, and he shot this poor woman in the face, and he robbed this guy of his wife, and he robbed the children of the mother. So yes, absolutely, I hope they sue the fucking shit out of him, and I hope he has to go live with one of his brothers somewhere in Mineola. Okay? Good luck, people. All right, kids, next stop. 212, we're going to New York City. My new friend, Mayor Motherfucker, is not impressing me so far, I have to tell you. And I know. I said I was going to give him 6 months, okay, probation. He's got until June to fucking wow me before I decide if I make my final verdict on him. But this is what happens when you're trying to be judicial and fair. But so far, okay, it's not looking too good. I'm not going to lie. He hasn't done much in the way of alleviating crime. I know his first day, he's going to get shit done and blah, 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 and this, that, and the other thing. And what's happened? Oh, gosh, the crime rate's actually went even higher, okay? He's actually turning out to be a fucking prima donna, hobnobbing all over New York and all the hot spots with the New York elite, and then giving these self-aggrandizing press conferences and making fucking vegetarian chili shit in a bowl, okay? All right? So far, the only things that he's done officially was to sign a bill into law that lets illegals vote, okay, in city elections, which that's a fucking disaster right there. And now he's forcing public school kids to eat vegan meals on Fridays. That's like capital punishment, okay? The kids are not happy, all right? And who the fuck can blame them? Who wants to eat tofu and shit, all right? Matter of fact, they're throwing the fucking lunches away. So now this is now a waste of taxpayer money, okay? And when he's criticized about this shit, this is what really fucking lit a fire under my ass. When he was criticized about it, he claims that the press is not covering him right because he's black and they're all white. Apparently there's no black reporters anywhere. Okay, he looked for them under tables and shit. So this motherfucker played the race card. He's not even into his second month already. He played, I mean, he is, but like not fully, you know what I mean? And he's already playing the fucking race card to cover his lack of movement on key issues in New York City. This is the same racist motherfucker, you heard me, okay, that referred to white people as crackers in a speech. Okay? In like a pre-election speech, he was saying how when he was a cop, he's like, I kicked them crackers' ass. He actually admitted to engaging in police brutality simply because the criminal was white. Now, if the criminal was resisting arrest, then I got no problem with you busting their fucking head. I don't give a fuck what color they are. Okay? But he used the term crackers. Now, being Italian, it doesn't really bother me, but for you whiteys out there, it should. I mean, let me put it in perspective, okay? Could you imagine if when Giuliani was mayor, he referred to black people as Molignons? Okay, or when Bloomberg was mayor, if he started calling them like, you know, Schwarzes or Schwuggies, which are two Yiddish terms that are unpleasant. They're unpleasant Yiddish terms towards black people. They're derogatory. Okay, so if he started saying that, do you have any idea the fucking mayhem that would have ensued? Okay, let's not forget what Joe Biden called black people, right? I mean, he actually used the God forbid that word you can't say, you know. I'd say it because, you know, I don't believe in, like, you know, curtailing myself, but I don't feel like going back and like editing a beep or something in it because the fucking overlords at YouTube already got like a bug up their ass. So you know the word I'm talking about. But yeah, he said it. That's all right. Okay. So for this guy so the mayor of New York City to refer to white people as crackers, that's okay. He's a racist fuck. There, I said it. Okay, since we like to throw that word around, I'll say it. There you go. How you like it? Right? But he's calling the press racist because they don't cover him right. How the fuck are they supposed to cover him? I don't understand. They're only reporting on the shit that you did or did not do. So what's the problem here? Anyhow, next stop, Livingston Parish, Louisiana. Love this fucking story. So a teacher by the name of Cynthia Perkins is going to jail. She got like 40 years. Okay. Her and her husband are going to jail. Well, the husband they haven't sentenced yet. Husband's a sheriff, deputy in Louisiana. Livingston Parish is like a county in Louisiana. Okay. And, you know, it's Louisiana. So they're all like a little, you know. But anyway, so her and the husband go for child pornography charges and what have you. Yeah, all terrible shit. So, but one of the things that she did, she's going to jail. She served cupcakes to her students laced with the husband's sperm. Okay? Cupcakes. Now, granted, I'm not a fan of child pornography. We know this. It's a terrible thing. But this is what they led with as far as the story goes. The whole child pornography shit came out a little later on in the thing. So her and her husband, I don't know they didn't get into detail about the other stuff. And I'm glad because that stuff disturbs me. But this just, I could. So it wasn't even recent. This happened in 2019. So like questions I have in my head now. Okay, like how did they know there was cum in the cupcakes? Like, I mean, was it like a cream filling? Did somebody go, what is this lovely cream filling? It's a little salty. Oh, that's cum. Or maybe she made like a nice ganache out of it, like a nice vanilla icing. Or maybe, see, I'm thinking, you like the Hostess cupcakes that they had that little white swirl at the top? Maybe the husband came by and just decorated it with his dick. Like, I mean, how do you know? How do you know what so did somebody take it to a food analyst and go, that tastes a little salty? And the teacher's cute. Like, she's going away for 40 years. Not only because of the cum cakes, you know, banana juice muffins, whatever the fuck you want to call them. But also, like I said, they engaged in a lot of other, they didn't go into details to what, but some other child pornography, some had to be some disturbing shit. But you know what? She's like, no, I'm guilty. I did it. She said he manipulated her into it, blah, blah, blah. Okay. You know, but, you know, she's not a bad-looking broad. They're going to fucking tear this poor bitch apart in prison, I'm telling you, for serving cum cakes. Fuck fucking does that? These couldn't have been good students, though. I mean, like, you don't give these students how to be assholes. That's the other thing. Like, like, oh yeah, you fucks, I'm gonna fix you. Honey, come here, jerk off into this batter. Like, what the fuck? All right, kids, your sports update. Okay, NFL. Thank God football season is over. So the Super Bowl. LA Rams are the champs. I called it. But I didn't catch the spread. So, half's better than nothing kind of thing. But, the game was it wasn't really that exciting. The halftime show was also crap. Okay, I mean, everybody was hyped up about the halftime show. Listen, I'll say this. I made a few bucks on the halftime show because I bet that the first song that they were going to open up with was that song, The Next Episode, with Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. I just knew. So I cleared a few dollars doing that. But, Snoop is Snoop. They told Snoop not to wear, blue bandana, gang colors. So instead, he comes out in a fucking blue bandana jogging suit. I'm not surprised. And of course, he was stoned. Yeah. I made a few dollars off of that, too, because I said he's going to come out high, and I had a picture of him smoking a fucking dope. But what pissed me off was Eminem. He had to take a fucking knee, right? Just to fucking stick it to people. Fuck this douchebag. And everybody keeps talking about 50 Cent. So 50 tried to recreate his video in the club where he's upside down originally. So you show him on TV, he's upside down, but they're all calling him Fat 50. Because, listen, the guy doesn't have a six-pack anymore. He's not fat. Like, I mean, he's got a belly. He's got no six-pack, but he's still fucking jacked as a motherfucker. Okay? You know what? Let me tell you something. He's over 40. Nobody over 40 has a six-pack. Okay? The man's 46 years old. He's got 2 years on me. All right? I don't have one either. Don't worry. Nobody has a six-pack unless they're fucking juicing. Okay? I have a friend of mine, good guy. He's like 55 years old. He's fucking shredded. You know why? So he's not doing that, but he's still jacked. Listen, after 40, okay? Like I said, if you want a 32-inch waist and a six-pack, you're talking fucking a cycle of juice. You got to eat salmon and fucking ground turkey every fucking egg whites every day. Who wants to live like that? That's and you got to live in a fucking gym. Most of us work. We have jobs. I hate salmon, okay? And I like food. I only work out so that I could eat. Honestly, I'm not like, I'm not one of these people that's like, I'm going to live in the gym. No. I like to look, a little decent, but it's mostly so my fucking pants are fit. I haven't been a 32-inch waist since I was in my 20s, okay? I don't need to be. After 40, we all have a gut. And I've always said, as long as your shoulders and your arms and your chest are good, who gives a fuck, okay? 40-year-old broads are not looking at guys that have, a small chiseled waist, okay? They like the dad bod, but they want a guy that looks like a fucking ape, all right? Like a gorilla. My parents have called me a gorilla my whole life, so, now I'm just filling out a little bit more. That's all right, okay? That's okay. I don't give a shit. After 40, you can't really, unless you're chasing fucking 20-year-olds, but even if you're doing that, these don't give a fuck what you look like. They're worried about your bank account, fuckface, so there you go. Leave 50 alone. I'm doing 50 a solid, okay? I'm all for body shaming people like the fucking, the 1,000-pound sisters, okay? That's, you're 1,000 fucking pounds. Like, okay, let me put it to you this way. Guys like 50 Cent, not fat. Okay, you're fat when TLC wants to build a show around you. That's when you know it's time to go on a diet. Okay, like, goddamn man, he's so fat he should be on TLC. Shit, that's how you know you're fat. Okay, if TLC looks at you and goes, no, you're okay. Oh, next stop, the Winter Olympics. You know, last week I talked about the Winter Olympics, and as a joke, I said, could you imagine if they should do like a special Winter Olympics? It turns out they actually fucking have one. I saw it on TV, a commercial for it. I thought I was gonna die. They had this one-legged skier. I'm like, he's got one leg. They had like a fucking harness. So he's got his one good leg and like a thing. Like it's like a cup. And he's seated in it. So he's got like the other ski. Then they had wheelchair luge. The guy in a wheelchair sitting in a luge. Just... They actually fucking have it. That I want to see. Hopefully they have that in Beijing, because at the end they're probably going to line them all up and shoot them, because that's what they do with cripples. Hey, don't get mad at me. That's China for you. NHL, Rangers and Senators Sunday at 5, and Islanders and Canadians Sunday at 2, and NBA. Well, thank God it's All-Star season. You know, it's the All-Star weekend, so there's no NBA games. They'll resume on Tuesday. But can we please talk about the fucking Nets again with this motherfucking trade that they did, where they sent Harden to Philadelphia for Ben Simmons and Steph Curry's brother, Seth Curry, and some other moron, okay? Apparently Harden wasn't happy in Brooklyn. That's the thing. So he somehow orchestrated this. But Ben Simmons, who was like the marquee person in this trade, who I told you I don't fucking like the guy, he hasn't even started yet, because according to his agent, he has mental problems. They traded a fucking key player for somebody who's mentally irregular. Can you believe this shit? It turns out the fucking Curry is a scoring machine. I mean, which hopefully that works out good in our favor. Hopefully it's not just a fluke, like he keeps it up. But I'm so fucking pissed that they did that. I haven't even watched. That's why I didn't watch the other night when they played the Knicks. I could care less. I'm done. And what the fuck is that? Let's talk about the Joy for All animatronic pets. You know, who sits around and comes up with this shit? You know, there are people out there that have, like, you know, therapy pets because they're nervous and they need something to stroke. Like Curtis Silva. Guy can't go 3 minutes without fucking stroking a cat. Okay? So now they have these animatronic, they're fucking robotic therapy pets for old people. Okay? They're marketed specifically towards old people. You can get a dog, you can get a cat, you can get it on Amazon, of course, where you find everything. Butt plugs and fucking, you know, animatronic pets. Yay. Okay? So, basically, it's a fucking toy. I mean, it looks like a real, or it feels like a real pet, apparently, and you just pet it and it'll purr, it'll, like, bark or meow, whatever the fuck. You know, I mean, could you imagine seeing an old person at home just petting a fucking robotic cat? It doesn't require any care other than batteries. So this is why it's being marketed towards old people. Because, you know, old people are old. You know, if they're old, they may forget. If they're old and senile, they might forget to feed it, walk it, you know, like pick up after it. They might kill it. They might sit on it and kill it. You know, I mean, who the fuck? They're fat. They might get confused and eat the pet food, you know. They could fall down and break a hip taking it for a walk. So they figured these animatronic pets provide some companionship without having to do all of the above. And the best part is, when the old person dies, you can just throw this fucking thing away, or like give it to a kid to play with. Yeah, you want to play with grandma? You want to play with grandma's pussy? Oh my God. All right, kids. Oh, enough joy. All right, on Right or Racist. According to the CDC in 2015, African Americans represented 12% of the U.S. population, but accounted for 45% of new HIV diagnoses that year. Well, that's right. Gotta be careful out there in the hood. Wrap that shit up, motherfucker. Okay, on your PSA. So I was talking with my friends today, Mitch and Steph, and I don't know how the fucking topic came up. They were talking about this show Ozark on Netflix. And I chimed in, and it reminded me of a teacher that I had when I was in 6th grade. Her name was Mrs. Ozark. And she had the most spectacular tits I had ever seen in my life. I mean, like, these things were just fucking ginormous. Like, and they stuck out straight. Like, they were fluffy. I'm 44 years old. I still think of these things fucking bouncing all over the place when she would walk. I mean, but like, they were like, when she would laugh, like, these things would just make me even happier. That's why I got funny when I was a kid, because I liked making her laugh, because her tits would just like, I mean, they would practically like go over her shoulders. Okay, they were spectacular. That's not the PSA. And it got me thinking. You know, you see people like that have these beautiful gifts and they want to give them back. They want to get breast reduction surgery. Stop it! That's like kicking God in the teeth. Okay? It's wrong. It's wrong. Or they go, oh, it hurts my back. You know what? Toughen up, buttercup. Stand up straight. Lift those fucking things up. Maybe get your own personal midget where you could rest it on their shoulders and have them walk in front of you. Buy a better bra. Okay? You know? I mean, call me. I got wide shoulders. Put them right on the thing. You can walk right behind me. All right? It's a new service that I could probably offer. Who knows? I mean, they're selling animatronic pets, right? Point being is that when you see it, it makes me sad, because I mentioned the itty bitty titty committee. You know, I think it was New Year's Eve or something. I was talking about Betty White, and you know, I think of them when I hear of people that want to have breast reduction, because these women would kill to have your rack. And you just want to discard it. Just toss it away like it's a fucking broken toy. It breaks my fucking heart. You know, remember something. I don't think you women with the double D's really grasp this. Okay? But it's a PSA, so I'm gonna help you out here. Okay? Your tits make people happy. You don't have to show them, just the fact that they're there. They make people happy. Like when you see like a nice set of tits, sometimes it's like, makes you happy you're alive. Okay? It brings joy to people. And for Christ's sakes, we need all the joy we can get these days. So leave the fucking boobs alone. All right, kids. Stay COVID-less, no mask, don't ask, haters can kiss my ass, and remember, who loves you, babe? It's been your Friday wrap-up. I'll see you when I see you.